Now, Jason Hendrickson is an artist, and he has been writing, and he has an eye for visual stuff, yeah, and it's something that he has enjoyed doing over the years. And recently he published his first novel, and Mr. Hendrickson is with us here this morning to tell us a little bit about that and who he is and what he has done. Mr. Hendrickson, good morning.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Okay.
So before we get started and go into what you've done and what you are doing, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a visual artist. Basically, I'm the son of Calypsonian all-rounder and the brother to Lady Wonder and the brother to Sister Shirley Hendrickson. So right now they're watching on. So hi, folks, how you going? So, I'm pretty much nervous as to, to do a very good job this morning. But basically, I'm a visual artist, and I've written this first novel of mine, and I hope that people enjoy what I have to offer.
Yeah. So, who is Jason Hendrickson?
Who is he?
Yeah, who are you? Tell me about you.
Just a average guy. Just likes the arts.
Yeah.
Likes drawing, painting, design, animation, writing a little bit. Poetry, songs. Loves to work at nights, basically. the morning thing is a bit of a stretch for me, but just a cool average kind of guy, just mellowing it out.
Yeah, mellowing it out, So your first novel is called The Artist's Eye, and
yes, it is.
This is a copy of it. What went into doing something like this?
Well, it was basically some time after leaving school, and after doing some odd jobs, basically. I won't say odd jobs, I'll say more like in the advertising agency, because I worked at Corbin Compton, which is Corbin Communications right now, and Lonsdale, Saatchi & Saatchi. And I was doing some self-realization and some self-evaluation on life. And as a boy growing up, you want to know what life has to offer, what's the purpose, what's the significance, God, and all these sort of things that are meaningful in one's life to, bring about something. And all these issues and concepts and ideas were in my mind and my heart, and I decided to write about it, to produce a book about it. So that is what came out of, that is what The Artist's Eye is all about. It's a journey of a guy from a little boy to a young man who have had experiences, who have had like unrequited love, brotherly friendships, redemption, salvation, and at the end of it all, realizes that life is worth living. Life has purpose, life has meaning. Friendships are important, people are important, nature, life, God, all these things.
How long did it take for you to write this book?
Oh, it took years. To be honest with you, because sometimes I stopped. Sometimes I had jobs to do. Sometimes I had ideas in my head. It took some years well to do and years well to put on paper and to compile and to put into order as to how I wanted to put and again to have the process of it, to have it published.
And I just opened the book for the first time, and I'm looking at the first paragraph of chapter 1, and this is what it said. I stand in the darkness, liking it, for it closes a chapter to another day. But I looking upwards and actually absorbing the night, I see more than a day has ended, but a huge section of my life. I breathe deeply.
Yeah.
That's some deep stuff right there.
Yes, very deep. It's very deep, very profound. Words that, experiences that has some indelible meaning and some significance. Because, as a boy in this day and age, with, again, not to get political or religious or and things of that nature, but you have to deal with the escalation of crime, the downturn in the economy, forex, foreign exchange and stuff like that, and you want to know, how does one navigate one's life? How does one see and produce? How does one live? How does one, as a young man, because it's very challenging, for you to be here and and what is expected of you as a young man? What it is you're supposed to do? Are you, to be strong, not to cry, not to have emotions, not to feel, not to express oneself in one's way. But the way I only know to express myself and to be who I am is to be a visual artist and through arts, through poetry and things of that sort. So that is, again, that is what the book is trying to evoke from you. I hope when people read the book, I get a hold of the book that, they feel like, you're watching like a good 2.5 hour film. Because at the end of it, I want to have it like an independent film of it. I want to have an animated short of it. And you get this feeling of, I can understand that and I could go through that. And there are no names per se like John, Dick, Harry, so and so. There's usually I, you, me. So you're literally...
It's something that people can relate to.
Yeah, you're in my shoes. You're definitely in my shoes. So you're walking these very steps that I've walked. So you say, okay, oh, this is what he went through. This is what this time in his life meant to him. And at one point in time you could be like a superhero. At one point in time you could be reflective. At one point in time you could sit back and relax. And there's different stages in your life. Even though I may not have been, I'm not the age of an old man or a baby, but you have those feelings, those
yeah, and just by the first paragraph that I just read, it can make people think so much. Just reflect on what they have done.
Yeah.
Not just the day before or the day that had gone, but the entire life.
Yes.
It is something that people can learn from as well.
Yes, you can. You very much can. I'm a big believer in Jesus. A big God-fearing, law-abiding type of.
You see, and that's good.
Because the way how things going now, I mean, I don't want to preach, but I mean, Jesus, yes, sweet heavenly God, Jesus, because you can't depend on anybody else because they're only flesh and blood, and you have to believe in some higher power, in some entity, in some source higher than yourself to really get you the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, you're exhausted, you're tired mentally, physically, spiritually, and you need that sort of comfort. You need that sort of, you need that resilience to get you the day to welcome you the day that follows the next day. So, and so doing, it's a spiritual book as well. It's a book of soul searching. It's a book of dear Lord, let me make it through the day. Let me, because there's chapter 5 deals with church, and there's a moment where I'm baptized, and that baptism it's like a euphoria, it's an epiphany, it's like an eye-opening experience. It's a resurgence of who I am again as an artist and what I'm supposed to be in this world.
So how challenging was it for you to do something like this as an artist? As a writer now, to write this book and reflecting so much on your life?
Wow. It was both. It was not a challenge so much because I know I want to write, and there are certain influences that I looked upon in writing, getting the proper word vernacular and stuff like that in writing. So, you look at Samuel Selvon, V.S. Naipaul, Derek Walcott, you look at these literary artists and stuff like that. You look at, political analysts like Lloyd Best. You look at C.L.R. James. Look at Eric Williams back in the day, Dr. Eric Eustace Williams. I've had mentors. I must make mention too, like there are people in my life who have guided me along my path. Like the son of the cup artist Ken Morris, who died in 1992. Well, not the son, the father, of course. But the son who saw me in Belmont Junior Sec, and he took me under his wing, and he taught me, he specializes in clay work and stuff like that. And moving on from there, you meet Anna Sarau, you meet like Keith Cadet, these are university lecturers and stuff like that. Steve Odette, these Christopher Cozier, these prominent artists of these days. So my life has been pretty much straightforward. So you're on some sort of chosen path. I'm not a Jew or anything, but you're on a chosen path to say, hey, this is the right way to go. And it's good people.
And I'm browsing as you speak, and there are some interesting things about you in there as well.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And where can people get this book then if they want to get it and take a read and
Well, it's not available presently, but it's the Metropolitan Book Suppliers are the distributors of the book, and it's in although it's what I should say, it's published, it'll be on Amazon and all the other like ebook and stuff like that. So around August, September, most likely it will be on shelves and stuff.
Yeah. And it's not just book with words, it also has a lot of pictures, a lot of graphics in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that you want to
promote a lot
as well. Yeah. And so moving forward, what do you want to see for yourself?
Well, I would like to do some exhibitions of my artworks and stuff like that. I'd like to do 2 other books as well. One in a graphic novel style. I love graphic novels. They're like, like Batman and Superman and all these fantasy things that people want to put aside. But the way how it has, the evolution of superheroes right now has been very much different and has been equated to real life scenarios. So therefore, I want to do a graphic novel. It's a U-Crew justice group, consisting of 3 characters, 3 unlikely characters. One's a super soldier, one's into religion, and one's a street level fighter and stuff like that. And they're fighting a tycoon who is into corruption and this manipulating the world. And the other one is a romance book, which is called The Lion and the Angel, which is about love itself, love in all its many facets and forms. Yeah.
And these things are probably, are they in the making yet, or do we have, how long would we have to wait to see
they're
those
in the
things?
making.
Because you mentioned to this book that you're looking to have a video or a show on it as well?
Independent film,
Yeah.
as well as an animated short. That's what I wanted to I wouldn't mind having it in the Trinidad and Tobago Film Company and stuff like that, going towards to them, and as well as having it into Cannes and all these other festivals and stuff like that. So that also too is in the process of in the works. So that's what I'm going to. That's the direction I want to go into in that style.
If people want to get the book, you mentioned Amazon, but can they contact you at any point in time to get the
Yes.
book?
JSN_Hendrickson@yahoo.com or 349-5236. That's JSN_Hendrickson@yahoo.com or 349-5236.
And from what I read so far, skimmed through, it is an interesting book. It has a lot of room for you as an individual to reflect on your life, and by reflecting, you might be able to figure things out that you may have been doing wrong and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Mr. Hendrickson, I would like to thank you for coming in and talking with us about your book, The Artist's Eye.
Yeah.
This is Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago. We have to take a break for the news and come back with more.